Hello everyone, welcome to the Cioffi Brothers podcast. I'm Ken.
I'm Alex.
And today we're going to be reviewing Mega Man 11. Yeah,
I'll take this one.
Yeah, you're going to take. Well, I put together a brief summary, so I'll do the summary and then you can run.
Okay.
So Mega Man 11 is a return to form for the franchise, for the Mega Man franchise. It's a side-scrolling run-and-gun platformer where you defeat villains and absorb their abilities to help you beat the other bad guys. I mean, is that?
Yeah, sounds more demonic like that, but okay.
It's true. What is that?
So,
in context.
If you've ever played a Mega Man game, you pretty much know what to expect when you're playing Mega Man 11.
What if they haven't?
If you haven't, why you haven't, there's 11 of them.
Plus all the X games.
Many more, but you're basically running around defeating bosses through different stages. Each of the stages are specifically designed around the boss's theme. Each boss's theme is different.
Well, we should rewind a little bit. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. But Mega Man is a robot. He's a robot little boy whose real name is Rock.
Well,
in some versions,
his Japanese name is Rock.
Yeah.
His sister's name is Roll.
Yeah,
Rock and Roll.
So, but he's a robot character, and he fights other robot bad guys who've been usurped by Wily.
Dr. Wily.
And when he beats these other robot bad guys, he can take their abilities. They're special. Each character has a special ability. He can take those special abilities and incorporate them into his own circuitry, and then he now has those abilities, and you can use those abilities to attack certain other characters who may actually be weak to certain other characters' abilities. So if you're strategic and you pick the right guys in the right order, the game actually can be a lot easier than if you just kind of go all higgledy-piggledy.
Yes. Hickley-pickley.
I had to let it go.
So, with that being said, let's get to the pros.
Yeah, let's get to the pros.
I think one of the biggest pros is the updated art style.
Yeah.
I love the new look for Mega Man. It's very classic yet updated.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a return to form. We've already said that, but it does definitely harken back to like the old school Mega Man. I do like it. I like the animation to it, or the animation style to it. It's a little weird the way he looks, but he looks like old school Mega Man, which I do like.
Yeah, sometimes the proportions are a little bit odd.
Right.
But he looks great. The animations are slick. They did a 2.5D for this, right, which is basically 3D models in a 2D plane, essentially.
Yeah, which really works for this game, because that's really where its roots are. I mean, there was definitely the Mega Man Legends, which went for the full,
at one point.
Yeah, which went for the full 3D. But I mean, Mega Man has always, it seems like the fans of Mega Man have always kind of gravitated to the side-scrolling, 2.5 or 2D adventure.
Yep. Next one. It feels fresh and new.
It does still feel fresh and new, which is it feels
after
kind
11 games.
Yeah.
You'd think, oh, this is just 11 games,
yeah,
but they do a good job. Level design is great. Characters are great. Enemies are challenging, and they have you thinking a little bit.
Well, yeah. What's interesting is, we say it can seem kind of counterintuitive when we say that it's a return to the classic style, but still feel new and fresh. But it's true. Just by playing it, it feels that way. They introduced the gear system,
the double gear system,
which I just had a chance to play a little bit. And it's a really neat game mechanic. The one gives you, you have two sides of these double gears. One side, when you activate it, slows down time so that you can get precise shots in at different bad guys, and the other one just gives you a more powerful blast, and that's separate from like the Mega Man Charge blast. And it's a really interesting game mechanic, and I think it can
easily turn the tide of a battle
Yeah.
without you even realizing,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, hey, I'm getting my butt whooped.
Well, there was a couple
Let me kick
times
in the
I
power
was
gear.
doing something and I was like, why this is going so fast? And I was like, well, duh, I can slow down time and I can do this. So it's a really interesting game mechanic. So still classic style, but also feels new and fresh.
Yeah. Yep. It's fun and it's accessible. There's right off the bat, there's 4 different difficulty modes: a casual, easy, normal, and hardcore, I think they call it.
Yep.
If you're new to the series, casual and easy, it's really easy to get into. They give you unlimited lives. They let you play the game and enjoy the platforming elements and stuff like that, and fighting the bosses. If you're a hardcore Mega Man fan, you can go with normal or hardcore, where you start with the 2 lives. You get through the level, and it's difficult. Enemies deal more damage, that sort of stuff. But it's for both the casual fan and the hardcore audience, which was really nice of Capcom to do, because they kind of, for Mega Man 9 and 10, they're throwbacks. They went more with a hardcore audience,
for the hardcore fans,
where they were fairly difficult when playing them.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I just played it for a short period of time before we did this. I mean, this is obviously more of Alex's thing than mine. He's a hardcore Mega Man fan. I've always been a fan of Mega Man. I never had an issue, but it was just not one of the games that I gravitated to more out of anything. I remember playing Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy way back in the day. That was the old school. But so I just played it for a little while, and again, it just for a more of a casual fan. I still consider myself a fan. I thought it was really accessible. It was really easy to get into. I mean, I certainly had a hard of a time with it than my brother did, and I'm sure there were times he was watching me playing going, why can't he just do this? But anyway, it's very enjoyable for the casual fan.
Yeah, it's fun, it's accessible, it's Mega Man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no 2 ways around that. Before we hop into the cons, I just want to say that right in front of us we have the Amiibo edition that was sold through GameStop exclusively. Comes with an exclusive Amiibo, a little Wily patch.
It was noticed in the patch. That's cool.
Yep.
I would totally put that on something.
And the stickers.
Stickers.
And this was an exclusive for the Nintendo Switch version, obviously, because it's an Amiibo, it's Nintendo.
Yep.
So I had to pick it up, and I love it. I think it's really cool. I think it's a neat little special edition. I don't plan on opening the Amiibo anytime soon, so. But yeah, it's a cool little addition. Thought I might show it off a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I mean, this is why we do this stuff. Is having these kinds of things to be able to show off when we do our reviews, so that there's something just additional there to talk about other than just the game.
Well, what's nice is this was more of a standardized price at $59.99, as opposed to if you just bought the game alone for PC, Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation for $29.99.
Right, which is actually that's a pretty good deal. I mean, a lot of the games that you get for PlayStation 4, I mean, they're $60 anyway. So to pay $60 and to get all of this, for the Switch, I mean, that's a nice deal.
Yeah.
Now, tell everybody what the Amiibo does in game.
In game, the Amiibo will give you lives or energy tanks, which refill your energy at given times through user discretion. Other than that, it doesn't really do anything else. It doesn't unlock anything really new. I haven't used...
So kind of cool, but maybe not
I haven't used
crazy.
any Amiibos with it, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't feel the need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to open him for obvious reasons. But you can if you want. You can actually use any Amiibo with him.
Oh, okay.
So if you have open Amiibos, like the Mega Man Super Smash Brothers Amiibo, I have that, and you can use that if you want.
Okay, fair enough. So now that we've gone over this, let's talk about the cons. Obviously with any game, there's a con.
Yeah.
So I'll let you get started.
None of the bosses are especially memorable. You've got Blockman is the really only standout one. Other than that, they're all kind of meh. It's not like I feel like Mega Man 9 had some great bosses, especially when they introduced Splash Woman, who was a woman boss, which was kind of cool. And then, of course, you have Mega Man 1, who had the core bosses that everyone remembers: Gutsman, Cutman, Iceman,
Classics.
all those classic guys. These guys, Tundra Man, Impact Man, Torch Man, there's nothing really stand out. They're all your basic fares. You got your fire boss, your ice boss, all that sort of stuff.
Yep. Fair enough.
The game itself is very short. It took me...
I was going to ask, given that, and that kind of going back to my original comment about a lot of games are $60, and this was only $30, I did wonder if there was kind of a reason why it was $30 as opposed to $60.
That definitely factors in. It's a short game. You'll be able to play it. You'll be able to beat it within. I mean, it only took me probably 4 or 5 hours, if that. And that was me going back collecting bolts to get some of the upgrades and stuff like that. But yeah, there's challenges that you can do, extra challenges in it. They're fun. You can do them for high scores, but other than that,
So would you say, like, I know a lot of the games, the challenge modes usually give you a nice opportunity to go back and collect things and really max out your character. I mean, would you say that the challenge mode offers that, or not so much?
It does not. It's a completely separate mode. It's not like a New Game Plus.
Okay.
It's completely separate.
Okay.
Menu option where you just go through and they give you specific tasks to complete.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
There's nothing else. If you're a fan of the X series or any of the classic Mega Man series, sometimes they had branching paths, hidden stuff, collectibles. There's none of that in this game. There's no special collectibles. There's no special rush tokens or anything like that. It's just you get through the game, you get through the Wily stages, you're done.
Okay, fair enough. All right, and it looks like this last one here is you had some issues with control on the Switch.
I did. If you've ever played the Switch, then you know this issue. I have my own made Joy-Cons with the D-pad.
Right, you did the D-pad mod.
The D-pad mod. If you don't have that mod, wow, I can't imagine playing it. Any 2D side-scrolling game playing with a joystick is not easy.
And that's what I was actually just saying to you a moment ago, is trying to do like the slide move with the joystick. Even on the Pro controller,
which has an actual dedicated D-pad that came with it.
But it's not. I mean, but it's not comfortable necessarily always to try to use that to navigate. So you use the joystick, and the joystick is just not conducive to doing that motion, because you're not. I don't know, and maybe this is just me being nitpicky, but you're used to using the joysticks for navigating a 3D environment. When you're doing a 2D side scroller with the joystick, pushing up and down does not in your head equate to up and down. It equates to forward and backward. So I don't know. It's just like, to me, it's just like an intuitiveness thing. It just doesn't feel as good, and it's harder to execute.
Yeah. Yep.
And maybe I'm being nitpicky, but that's
I had that issue too. I actually don't mind the Switch's Pro controller. There's a ton of third-party controllers you can get for the Switch that alleviates the problem.
8-bit Do controllers?
8-bit Do controllers, which are amazing.
They're great. I have two.
I do have one of those. So that problem can be alleviated, but if you're just playing it in handheld mode, even in handheld mode, it's a little bit difficult because you got your thumb jammed down to where the D-pad or where the directional buttons are if you're on a standard Switch, and this thumb is way up here for everything else, and gets kind of
problematic. Yeah, I can see that.
But that's an exclusive thing to the Switch. I mean, I played it on the PS4.
maybe on the PS4 because
Played it on the
over there.
PS4 because I played it on the PS4 and I didn't have as much of an issue.
Okay.
You're probably going to run into the same issues with the Xbox 3 or the Xbox One version because you have
because it's a similar layout
similar
to the Switch.
layout to the Switch's Pro Controller and the Switch itself. PC again, you have a plethora of options for the PC.
There's really
so
you can do whatever you want on the
you can
PC.
You can do keyboard controls if you really wanted to.
Which, do you remember back in the day when we had the Mega Man X demo on our PC?
I don't.
How can you not remember that?
No, I remember a lot of things from back in the day, but not that.
Oh gosh, it was like shareware. I'm going off on a tangent here, but it was like shareware, and I downloaded it from like one of the AOL thing. Like it was in AOL. You could find like games or something, and it was a full on demo of Mega Man. I'm pretty sure it was Mega Man X. Because it was the first level where you start out and there's all the cars that go by.
You know what? I do remember that.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that. I played Mega Man X so many times that I can't.
And you were able to play through like the first level, and then it was like, buy this game, such and such. But anyway,
probably like 5 megabytes. Took 3 years to download.
Yeah, no, for real. But I digress.
But so overall, I think we need to give it a grade.
Yeah. So I'll let you give the grade, and I'll probably just go along with that. I mean, I played it a little bit. I enjoyed it. I could maybe see myself picking it up. But aside from that, you're the expert. You've played through the whole thing. What's your grade?
I have played many a Mega Man games in my day. I've played them all. I gave it an A.
Still an A.
Yeah. This is something Mega Man fans have been wanting for years. An updated Mega Man, new bosses, new art style, all that sort of stuff. This could be Capcom's renaissance, where they finally bring back the Blue Bomber. This is the first dedicated Mega Man game, full release Mega Man game, I should say, in, I think it's 10 years.
Yeah. Well, what I think is interesting is that, and again, I'm going off on a tangent here before we close up for the day, is I think that this is very much in response to the Mighty Number 9 initiative that came out a couple of years ago. For those who don't know, Mighty Number 9 was kind of a Mega Man inspired game that, because Capcom had not come out with a new Mega Man game in such a long time, this group of people decided to get together.
Decided to take it upon themselves to make a spiritual successor, which
there's a lot of those nowadays, but a Mega Man-like game, and it didn't do as well. It did not do well, but the fan support for it was
huge,
was unparalleled. So I think that maybe woke, and this is just me speculating, but I think that woke Capcom up a little bit to say, hey, this is a viable franchise, and fans want some more of this.
Yeah, and to that effect, we ended up getting the Legacy Collection, which had the classic games packed into one, which they have stated that if the Legacy Collection did not do well, we wouldn't have seen a Mega Man 11.
Right.
But it just shows fans want this style of gameplay. Here's hoping they do an X9, because I really like that. Or Legends 3, just finish the series already. But other than that, I think this is a great game for the price. I'm sure you'll find it on sale if you could pick it up for $20. It's a great value. It'll give you an afternoon of enjoyment, maybe a weekend of enjoyment. But yeah, definitely worth the time if you're a Mega Man fan, and if you're not a Mega Man fan, then if you're a casual fan, you can jump in and see what all the fuss is about.
Great. So I think that does it for us today. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share. That's the other one. There's always 4, and I always forget one of them. Yeah. Anyway, do all those things if you want, and we'll see you guys next time.